Good morning, everyone. My name is Steve Pearl. I'm happy to be here to be presenting to you today a very special webinar about taking advantage of engagement through events and how some of the new tools that are part of our IntelliClick product can make that possible for you to do in a very easy and streamlined way, very tightly incorporated within your Goldmine CRM system. I really do appreciate everyone attending today. I realize that everyone's schedule and way of doing things these days is a little bit out of the ordinary, and so I do appreciate you taking some time out of this challenging day to participate and look at this. Hopefully, you'll find it very relevant, especially as it deals with engagement with people and your customers and prospects, especially at a time where face-to-face engagement is just simply not possible. And so hopefully this is also a bit of a timely and relevant topic for us to be reviewing. The plan for our presentation, I expect it'll be about 45 minutes or so. But basically, we're just going to briefly look at what are some of the reasons to do online events. Why would you want to be doing this? Some of you may already be doing it. Others who haven't, maybe we'll have some good reasons for you to consider it. We'll look at the features and benefits specifically related to our advanced event management component of IntelliClick today. We'll also give you a little bit of a demonstration of some of these different components and how they work. And then we'll also talk about how you can get it, whether you currently are an IntelliClick customer. For those of you who actually don't even have Goldmine, I know we have some people attending today who do not even have Goldmine as a CRM system. We have some ways for it to be easily obtained by you. We have a special offer for those of you who want to get started with this. So we'll be talking about that during our how to get it section. And then finally, we'll have a Q&A and leave it open to having you ask any questions you might have as it relates to both the content and the specifics of the product. So we're going to get started first with, why might you want to offer online events? And some things are pretty obvious. Others you may have not thought of before. First of all, right now, online events, and as you know, today I'm doing it exactly with one of the online tools. We happen to use a GoToMeeting, but obviously there's many other tools out there that are available to you that at little to, in many cases, sometimes no cost at all, depending on how many people you invite to your events. But at the end of the day, they do provide a very cost-effective way to get the word out. And there's lots of reasons to get the word out. It could be product announcements. It could be other things going on in your environment. It might just simply be more a way to interact with your customers and have a certain, let's say, monthly get-togethers with customers. I know a lot of times there are different types of things offered for educational purposes. Let's say you're a manufacturer of a certain product and it would be helpful to educate them on certain uses of the product. You can do these online events as a good way to keep them well educated. It doesn't necessarily have to be a sales type situation. When you are using it though in a sales environment, it can augment what your salespeople do. A lot of times there are, as an audience out there, people that you may have not yet qualified as prospects, and you may not want your salespeople to spend the time qualifying them. So one option is to put up an event that people can come and be at least initially exposed to the product. A lot of times this might be done by the marketing department or in conjunction with sales to at least do some kind of a demonstration or presentation, depending on whether what you're selling lends itself well to being shown in an online presentation. Ultimately, with an online event, you do have a way to build your contact list. What we're going to be showing you today is not only can we help you build the contact list from people that you don't yet have in your CRM, but to start immediate engagement with them as well. But all the online tools, depending on what you're using, do offer the ability to capture who has signed up or is participating in your event. That's a downloadable list. We save you all that trouble with our advanced capabilities to just get things directly into the CRM and flowing right away. Now, some industries don't often use online events, and I've talked to some customers who are using IntelliClick and put that idea out there as to why they might consider doing it, and it could be just as simply a matter of making yourself stand out and be different than your competitors. If you're in an industry where those things are not being offered and you start to offer it, hopefully you might grab some attention. People might appreciate, especially these days, where getting your salesperson to visit or do anything that's going to put them face to face is just simply not possible, not feasible, at least not for now. So it's a good way to augment that effort. Ultimately, all the meeting tools and all these online tools will offer you the ability to record the event, just like I'm doing today. And so that can then be kept and used ongoing, really for perpetuity, to be a sales tool. It can be put up on your website. It can be made available in numerous ways, so that whether even social media and other ways where they can see these recordings and continue to be educated on it. But ultimately, you're getting that benefit ongoing from the presentations that are out there to be viewed at any time. And finally, today, the most obvious reason you might want to be considering online events is simply because of what we have going on, and face-to-face interaction is just really not a viable thing. So this can fill that gap. And so that's kind of the premise for why we thought it was a good time to put out the word and talk about this. So I'm going to talk about the two key features in our capabilities. And I know for some of you who've not heard of IntelliClick before, I did want to make sure you are aware that our product is basically a very tightly integrated email marketing tool that works with Goldmine CRM. So what it does do is allows you to very easily get campaigns out to your audience, begin immediately seeing the interaction and tracking of what they're doing. It gives you ways to be alerted on different behaviors. And now our latest feature allows you to do a very seamless event registration process to either have people instantly be added to an event and be registered, or to capture new people as well. And we'll be talking about both those capabilities today. So one benefit with this tool is really you can use any meeting platform you want. This is not tied to any specific one. When you actually create messaging for your event, you're just simply going to provide whatever platform information is appropriate, whether that's Zoom, GoToMeeting, and so forth. So you have the flexibility to really go out and get really anything out there that you want. Again, I was mentioning that right now those meeting platforms have become very, very cost effective. An example, for instance, is GoToMeeting. You can, for an annual fee of about $150, do as many meetings as you want with up to 150 participants at any one of those meetings. So if you look at that, it's really just a little bit more than $10 a month that gives you the ability to have a very extensive platform to reach out without a very high cost to doing it. I think you'll see very similar types of pricing with Zoom and others as well. But again, with what we have, you're not restricted in any way. Now, what we also do is, and we've always given the ability to do what we call a one-click event registration. So, or I call it an instant registration. And of course, the benefit there is that people don't have to fill in forms and don't have to go through a whole formal process. A lot of times people just shy away from it. So if you already have these people in your database, why ask them for the information you already know? A click will just handle it for you. And that is part of what we have. What we've done to enhance that capability is you can now add a whole process of not only confirmations, but reminders, and even post-event messaging, so that you can continue to stay engaged and keep them involved. And hopefully some of you did receive some of those reminder emails in the last 2 days to attend our event today as examples. The nice thing too is that everything you do is custom to the way you want it to be. So a lot of times when you use webinar platforms, they have sort of a base type of template that will automatically just fill in certain information you provide, but you don't really have a lot of flexibility on what those look like, what they say. So with what we're providing you, you have the ability to build exactly what you want for all your messaging. For those of you who are using IntelliClick and are taking advantage of the MailStyler HTML tool, it's a very nice, easy way to build landing pages, the various template messaging that you want to have go out. And once you've got a base template, altering it slightly, excuse me, to send out that specific message for that event is very quick and simple to do. And again, because your messaging is completely branded and customized, it really ties nicely in with any other types of marketing that you're doing. And really, you're not restricted on as far as what you use to create that messaging. So whatever HTML tool you prefer, you can do that with. So ultimately, the benefits is we're trying to make sure that people will sign up because there's minimal effort involved if they're using the instant one-click sign up. And you control really everything from the branding to exactly when the communication happens. And it's all done from one single interface inside of the IntelliClick wizard that we'll be seeing very soon. The other, and I should say, finally, the final benefit is that because we're capturing the information to your CRM, there's numerous things from reporting to the ability to trigger or make sure that certain types of follow-up can occur by the sales team if it's appropriate. Now, what's brand new and that we're embellishing to event registration for IntelliClick is the ability to also use your website for people who aren't yet in your CRM system. So very often you're going to have a mix of people that may already be known to you and plenty of people who are visiting at any given time your website. If you were to offer up various types of presentations and they sign up, we've made it so that that sign up process would be identical to if they just simply clicked a link that was sent to them from an email you send them. So the entire process will flow exactly the same. There's only one form that's used. We provide you that form. That form can be embedded into your website, or you can just have it simply be a form on its own. Will get branded with your logo, very similar to those of you who've seen our other landing pages that brand to you through the logo being presented of your company. But you can also embed these. So depending on how you want to put it into use, it can be also just be part and parcel of the website itself. Now, we generate for you a very simple link that you can then place in lots of different places, whether that is on your website as a way to put them into that meeting sign up or that event sign up, but you could also use it in other areas, whether it's social media, blogs, or anywhere that you want to post that link. Basically, it would allow them to instantly sign up from that link, and the process begins from there. Now, what it's doing is it's actually adding people to your database. So if they're not an already known person in your system, then we add them. If they already exist, we update it. We just simply show that they came back. We still schedule them to the event either way. And so the process, whether they are already existing or not, is the same. And we make sure we're avoiding any duplication from your side. Finally, there's just simply a nice sequence of confirmation and reminders. And that whole process is identical and uses exactly what your one-click does. So you don't have to set things up two different ways. Everything kind of falls in line. So whether they come from a click or whether they come from your site, it all plays out the exact same way using exactly the same templates in either case. At the end of the day, what you benefit from is, of course, building your database, because hopefully there are plenty of people that might be interested in topics you're offering and they're visiting your site, and this is a way to get them now captured into your system for future marketing efforts that you might want to have. And you're ultimately now managing everything from your email marketing, and whether it be from emails or website, streamlined and integrated back to your CRM, either way. So the website piece really augments what we've traditionally offered, which was that one-click instant registration. Now you have it two different ways and have the ability to incorporate a process of confirmations, reminders, and so forth in as you go along. So what I'd like to do is give you a little peek at sort of what the results are that you'll see in a Goldmine environment and the tool and how it actually helps you get there. And I'm going to start first by just simply showing you the end result of something that already has people registered to an event, like the one we're doing today. There's a couple of ways you can at any time see who's signed up. Now, our dashboard, where you can always go and look at the status of an event or of any campaign you're doing. In this case, we have an event called Events That Engage. When you go and access that event, you'll be able to see exactly who has signed up. And so what you would have is just the ability to click and immediately see just from the dashboard all the people who signed up for that specific campaign and the event being offered with that campaign and drill right down to them. So one of the first places you can quickly see what's going on as people are being captured is through our dashboard, just like you would through any other type of campaign that you run through our IntelliClick product. We also give you the ability to do a couple of different things through our report center. So we have and have always had the event tracking summary report. That report allows you to pull up for any interval of time all the people that are showing as being registered for an event that you're running. I'm just going to go ahead here and quickly put in a date range. And when this comes up, it will present you with the dates and times of any events that are out there with people signed up. I can then go and even see at the exact time interval all the registrants, and this can then be printed off, of course, just prior to the event so that you have. This, of course, is sample information. This isn't actually, although I made it real to be today's event, the information you're seeing is just an example. And so this would be one of the ways, just prior to an event, you can run a report and know who's intending to be at your event through that. We also give you the ability to see and look at the process of managing the event. Now, you'll see in a moment when I launch the actual module, the information you're seeing in this report actually summarizes a couple of things that are being managed through that module. So this report will tell you your upcoming events. It will go ahead and read the number of registrants that you currently have. So at any moment, that report will show you where you are. It has the basic information of the event, and very importantly, what files are being used for the confirmations and the reminders. And in some cases, if you only have one reminder, you might also have a post event. You don't necessarily have to have two different reminders. You can have no reminders and only a post event. So you have the flexibility to have various ways to have email messaging tied to the event. The only one we require you to have is a confirmation message. So the confirmation message is one that you want to use to really confirm to them their participation, also give them the ability to add it to their calendar. A lot of nice things happen through a confirmation. So that's the minimum you would have to provide as you create the event. But this is a just nice, very quick way to see it. If you do want, you can always go and copy and check out that actual page. It's on your location. So all these files are being saved locally and being used. So you control those messages. There is nothing to upload at any time. It's all managed and being processed directly in your environment. So you are in full control of it all. So from a perspective of, there's one other way you can take a look at who's going to be at an event. We schedule everything to a user called events. And I can then go and pull under the Goldmine activity appointment list any events coming up, and I can even specify what date range I want this to show me. So if I want to limit it to just a very specific event date, I can simply go in and choose that event date and just limit my view to just being those people in my event. So another nice way, in addition to the dashboard, is to actually have them listed right here. And of course, I can see everything I need to know about that person. If somebody at a later time wants to complete their attendance to it, Right from this list, you can just simply complete that they may have attended or not attended, and maybe you might want to schedule actions to take to follow up. So the reason it's nice to have it in the CRM system is it gives you the ability to put a nice process in the flow for the follow-up that takes place after the event. It's not a drill to print a report and figure out how I'm going to deal with it, or are these people in our system? It's all there ready for you to take advantage of. So those are 3 ways to actually see the end result. But what you're probably wondering is, so how do we get that result? How do we get there? And so I'm going to go ahead now and I'm going to launch the IntelliClick Wizard. I do want to show you one more way that, as an example about an event registration incorporated into your site. Now, this is the one we are currently using on our own IntelliClick site, where we offer up different kinds of events. And this portion that has all these events is actually being created with our Mail Styler tool, and then just being embedded inside our website. So that's what we're doing here, is we're showing this and embedding it in the site, but now this allows people to quickly sign up right from here. So as an example, if I click register, this is taking me to our standard page. That would be exactly the same as yours, except the logo would be your own logo. And then if somebody wants to go ahead and complete this, I'll just quickly pop in some examples here. And submit. Once they submit it, what they get is a confirmation that they're signed up. So it immediately greets them and confirms their registration. It allows them at this point to click and add to their calendar right from this page. So many of you who are using IntelliClick and have been using it before know that this is our standard one-click event registration landing page. That is the default we offer up. So this is something you've seen probably before. We're also confirming to them what email they should be expecting it, to be sure they check for that. And this, of course, will all be dynamic. So when we create the link and so forth, it's telling them based on your parameters exactly what to expect. Now, what that really just did is, if I go back over here to Goldmine and I look up this company, here they are now. They've just been added to my database. So on the ClickTrack tab, we're showing a contact created, the date and time that they were created, and they've been signed up for the event. So this is also, we're taking advantage of course, our lead scoring module. So we've set it that when people sign up for events, we give them a score of a 10 for our lead scoring module, something that you'll be able to hear more about in future webinars we do, but that is part of what it's doing. We simultaneously also scheduled them to the event. So here is Steve Smith. He's been scheduled into Goldmine and now would show up on all my different reports, on my dashboard, all the different ways. So it's there automatically right from that submission on the website. You are able to control fields for your specific form. So we have our form saying the source is web registration. You can have it add other data in your database. Let's say you want to rank them, and I could make this be something like a suspect instead, because I think one of our options is being a suspect, or they could maybe be a prospect, because if they're going to attend an event of ours, we might say that there's some level of qualification and make them a prospect. But either way, the forms can be flexible to offer up automatically setting other fields as the record is being added to your system. So just something else too. But there's the example of that web form capture for somebody brand new. Now, if Stephen Smith signs up for any other event, so if he were to be on our page and decides to also sign up, let's say for the digital body language, what we're going to do here is we're going to make sure that based on his email address, I'm going to make sure that I sign up again. And it doesn't really matter if these are not required fields. I'm not even going to put in company. It won't affect the capture of it. But basically now we're telling them that they've been registered for this other event. So they can very quickly sign up for as many different events as they want. And within just a few seconds, Stephen Smith will now have a second event added to and show him being scheduled to this new event as well. And I did want to point out that these events are very easily changed at any time. So if you do decide that you're going to change dates and times, you can quickly go in, make some minor changes, and our tool will allow you to reset or recreate the link very quickly to update things, because things are fluid, things change all the time, so it will be easy to do. And our confirmation process will follow suit. And I did want to show you an example that when these occurred, I'm going to go ahead and check email here. So here's an example where I had the alert coming to me to say that Stephen Smith signed up. Here was his first sign up for campaign events that engage. Here was a second one on the digital body language sign up. In either case, I also received, just like he would have, or this person, the confirmation message. Let me just bring that in. And you can see that you probably may have recognized this type of message, because this is something that would have gone to you as well, is the confirmation message that we created that is automatically being processed. Now, same message would be whether they use the one-click or the web form. Either one will generate and show them the exact same message. So you don't have to create different things or put things in different places. It all flows in the same way. I really find that this add to calendar, of course, if they ever did do it from the confirmation page, they always can just simply click and receive immediately a very nice little add to calendar page. This is the one that we provide here, where they can choose what type of calendar they're adding to, and this will drop it in. So we're providing our customers the benefit of an add to calendar mechanism. We have a special account to enable all this to happen, and that's all part and parcel included with your subscription to IntelliClick. So a very nice, seamless way to get things on people's calendar along the way. If we go back over to our Stephen Smith record, and I'm just going to make sure we refresh it, you'll notice now he is registered for two different events, one on the 15th and May 13th. He's also signed up. The second time he came in, we say he was updated. So that because we already had him in the system, we show him as it was an update, the day and time that took place, and of course, the event he signed up for. So very nice, seamless flow, all integrated and reportable inside the CRM system. So the final thing I want to show you is, how does all this magic really happen? And I'm going to launch our latest IntelliClick wizard. And in this wizard, you'll see how this module will all play out. So there's a few ways to get to the module, but under campaign tracking, we give you the event registration with automated reminders button. If you are a premium customer of IntelliClick, this will show up the next time you update to the new version of IntelliClick. Now, this screen is where I can create a brand new event. But the nice thing is that I can also look at and even modify or adjust events that are already underway. So this drop-down will show you your upcoming events. When you choose it, it instantly populates everything that you set up for that event. So this screen does two things. It allows you to manage the event, also allows you to set an email alert if you want, when your link is clicked, to be alerted like you just saw mine do. You can set that alert. It can be a dynamic alert or static. That's one of the nice things about our product, is we can use different data inside the CRM to determine who gets these alerts, or it can be static where you type in specific emails. But not only are you building the link through this screen, but you're actually managing the information about the event. So if my event, for instance, changes on the date, I can go and alter that here in the screen. The time, any information would change. You notice that there are some presets that you can alter at any time. So who's the email going to come from? Now, if for a certain event, it's more appropriate to use a different send from, you can change it here, but not necessarily make it the default. So we do give you the ability when you change things to decide, is this something I want ongoing or not as a default. The landing page is the one, that special page that we provide that will give them that add to calendar capability. You might decide that for certain special events, you want to take them to a very specific page on your website, and you're totally welcome to do that by just simply putting the page you want to drop them onto after they click to sign up. What we do have you do is set a place in your system where all the default template files will go. So what's important here is that by having this and you saving everything there, then the system knows exactly where to look for all these various templates. It's very easy to adjust this. We give you the ability to go and pick the location and then set the directory path through this little button. So we're making sure that everything is what's called UNC, the // because for our tool to process, it needs to be set that way. But let me show you an example where I can go and look at or decide to even change out any of my messages. If I go to the template setting to see what I'm using at the moment for this campaign, this will instantly bring up the actual file that we've saved. I can see the information. I can set my subject line. And so this subject line, of course, is potentially tied right into what your message says. You can be very, very specific on what the subject line says. Ultimately, the subject line gets placed here, and even here you can make a change at any time and adjust subject lines for all the types of messaging that you have. So we allow you to control all the messaging here. You also have the ability on, let's look at another event, to have post-event messaging. So we could have something like a post-event message that might offer up, for instance, a recording to that event within a day or two after the event is complete. So this can be set up and then will automatically go out with a link to watch the recording. And some of these templates I'm showing you are going to be provided as default MailStyler templates, except they will leave it blank so that you will be able to set them to be how you would like. So all of our templates, we do give examples to you for those who are using MailStyler. Very nice, easy tool to work with, and we've had a lot of good success with our clients using it. Now, basically, you could see that once the event has been set up through a very simple little data entry screen, you can now move to actually creating a few different kinds of links. So it confirms that everything is correctly set, and then you're put on a place where you can create 3 types of links. The instant link, of course, is one that you're already used to doing. This is the one that you would insert into your email with a one-click sign me up type of situation. This one will create an actual registration that will take advantage of the web page that you have out there for registration. So this will put them out to and pass in the information of the event so that that click you saw me do a moment ago from my website would be exactly the same here. It would take them straight to the form, fill in the blanks, and sign up. We also give you the ability to create the add to calendar link, that little link you saw me click on before, because when you create templates that are your confirmation templates, you're going to want to potentially use the add to calendar there as well. So from this one screen, it allows you to prepare the 3 kinds of links that at the end of the day can be used. And let's just take a quick look here at an example. I'm gonna, because I think many of you may have seen what you had received, which was this email. And so in our email, what we did is we created a register yourself instantly and register others through a web form. So each of these links is designed to either one-click instant sign up or allow them to even register other people from their company who may not be getting this email or be in the system. Remember that if they are in Goldmine, when they register them, we're not going to add them as a new record. We'll just simply match that email and update the company. So if they're registering people you already know about, you're still just going to have things be added and updated to the existing account. But this is an example of a template where you could add to these buttons basically by just using these little generations of hyperlinks and drop them in where they need to go. So what it means is that you can actually set up things way in advance. If you go ahead and create the event in whatever meeting tool or webinar tool you use, you can set those up and have a whole series of things all set and ready to go for future events. Now, you may not decide to send out the campaign right away, but the beauty of being able to be in this screen, let me just pop back here to that screen I was showing you a moment ago, is that you can go and decide when you're going to launch the actual event. So if I've created these events that are coming up in the future, I can pick when I'm ready to actually generate the campaign, and right from here, just simply go next. It's all preset, ready to go. If I want to be sure it's still correct and relevant, I can just click and verify that some of my confirmation templates are all correct. If for some reason I've changed it, I just browse to a updated template, and I can then simply choose what the correct template is to drop in. Now, the nice thing is where you save those templates can be anywhere you want, because what we're going to do is make sure they get placed in your default storage folder for us to process. So we're taking the worry from you out of where you save things. We make sure that wherever you go get it, we put it where it needs to be. So this just gives you the overall view and flow, all controlled through this one single screen in our new advanced registration module. I hope you like it. So I'm going to just jump back on over here. And I did want to basically talk a little bit about how can you get the latest version of this product. Well, the advanced email management is part of our premium version. So anybody who's an existing premium version client is going to have it automatically as part of their subscription. If you don't yet have premium, if you're on either standard or plus, you can upgrade, and we'll just simply prorate that cost to the next renewal date. So that's what you would pay to be upgraded. But we also have a couple of special offers that we're putting in play today as part of this whole ability to get our product in this module in particular. If you don't have Goldmine yet, so if you're someone that has not yet got a license of Goldmine at all, we're going to give you the ability to get a free license and installation of Goldmine, and even have it web hosted if you need. So if you don't have a server environment, we'll make sure to provide what you need to be able to have access to this and the ability to take full advantage of all the capabilities we've been talking about with IntelliClick. Really, that value is about $1,750 value that we're giving you for those of you who today do not yet have Goldmine as your CRM. And we do just ask that you contact us to get more specifics and details of how that whole offer does work. For those of you who already are our existing IntelliClick customers, what we are offering is, of course, extensive training on this specific module, and as well, we'll help you prepare those initial default templates and landing pages. Make sure that everything is working correctly in your website and have it fully deployed so that you're ready to go day one as you want to start taking advantage of the tool. So anyone who does upgrade or is currently on our premium will get the benefit of a lot of hand-holding to get you started with this module in the process. So if you do have an interest and need assistance, questions, or anything, feel free to reach out through our customer care at intelliclicksoftware.com email. We'll make sure to respond or get in touch with you to follow up on anything that you need relating to our promotions or questions about how the module will work in your environment. So I'd just like to open it up now to any questions you might have, incorporating it into the website and how do we manage it if we ourselves don't manage the website. So when you create these pages that are going to be used, you could literally create and hand that page right off. The file can just be handed off to whoever does manage your website, and they can just simply put it up on the site for you. So you're able to create the entire landing page, or just give them the link. If they're managing and building all your pages, all you need to do is generate from the wizard the link and just hand it off to them in a little email message to the person that manages your site and say, place this link here for event, the name of the event and the date and the time, and they can just simply take care of it for you. So everything you do can be easily handed to whoever manages your site. It doesn't necessarily have to be you yourself, but our tool makes it easy to generate what's needed. Let's see, other questions we have. The cost to upgrade to premium. Okay, so premium, and if on our website, you'll see, you can actually see pricing. Our premium product annual licensing is $2,495 annually. So depending on which version you are on our product, whatever the difference in your annual price today to the premium price is the amount it costs to upgrade, but we will prorate it. So depending on when your next renewal, we prorate by however many months there are till that renewal to get you upgraded. And then your new annual renewal price becomes the $2,495 annual renewal. So that would be the upgrade cost. Depending on what level you're on, will determine that price differential. And I do appreciate everyone taking their time out of what I know has become very challenging work days. All of you are participating from locations that are not typically where you're working from, but I do appreciate you making that time and effort, and do watch out for our post-event message if you want to share this recording and take let others see it. And we'll look forward to any of you who are not currently using Goldmine to possibly consider using it and take advantage of what we think is a very compelling offer to get the product and take advantage of IntelliClick. So again, thank you everyone. I appreciate your time, and I'll look forward to being in touch.